Oh, yes, our time is up for us to open the box. Let me also introduce to you our investment analyst. He's also a banker. His name is Mr. Frank Kwachi, who will tell us what we can do with our money. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time.
Viewers,
yeah. First of all, what do you think about what we've been trying to do, Roland Walker, my colleague, and myself, since January?
I think you must be applauded for what you have done, because I have always been telling people that in one way or the other, people should learn to save. And after saving, you move into investment, because I always maintain that there's a difference between saving and investment. What you have done exactly is that you've saved the money, you've kept the money. Now the next step is we want to invest the money. We want to move it to the next level, which is a little higher than, or trying to earn a return than just preserving the cash.
Okay. So I'm just trying to open the box up and see how much we've been able to gather. Yeah. But you take us through the various investment opportunities that are out there.
Okay. There are a large range, or what I call variety of investment opportunities out there that you can look at. In our market, to simplify things, I will talk about there is what we call the fixed income investments, where you know that you are getting a return, and the return is given to you, or you're told from the beginning. And also there is what I call the non-fixed income, which is the equity market, like the stock market, where you don't start with how much am I going to be getting, but a return is promised. And there's a likelihood also that you can lose some of your principal. And then there's a hybrid where people have what they call the balanced funds, where they have some fixed income and then they have some variable in there to be able to balance it. So broadly, you can talk about these three avenues out there. But when you talk about a fixed income, there is a lot more things there, from starting from what I call call accounts from a bank or from a finance house to a fixed deposit. That's what you are, you are building upon. You can go as high as, preparing something like an investment account where you put in money periodically. And then for the stock market, there is a wide range of stocks there, which you need an analyst to advise you which one you need. But in all these things, before you go into the investment, there is some questions that you need to ask yourself, or you should be ready to answer those questions if they are put to you. What is the amount of money that you have available? Because that will determine the type of investment that you can do and where you can take your money to. The second item is that what return are you actually looking up for yourself? And when I tell people that what return are you looking up for, the guiding point is that first, let's consider what is the current inflation. I think currently we are talking about 13.2. Bank of Ghana projects that inflation is coming down towards the medium-term range of between 8 plus or minus 2. So between 6 and between 12. So that should be the guiding point, that any investment that you're going to put your money in should at least exceed the current inflation, should exceed the 13%. So anybody that gives you a return less than the inflation rate is to some extent telling you something that your money might not be able to buy what you're looking for that. There are certain circumstances where you will get less than the inflation. That is when the second point comes in, that is the liquidity. How often would you want part of your money given to you? Or when are you going to be taking your money out? The liquidity determines what the person or the investor can do with the money that you are giving him. For instance, if you're giving him the money today and you're coming for the money tomorrow, he can't do much about it. So like the likelihood of the person giving you something lower than the inflation is there. But if you're leaving the money with him, for argument's sake, let's say for the next 90 days, then of course he must pay you a premium above your inflation. The other thing that you look at is what is the risk-free rate? If I give my money to the government, the treasury bills, how much am I getting? Currently, the treasury bill is within a region of 17 getting to about 18 thereabouts.
Which is still very low.
Which is still very low. So the basics is that you should, if you want to take a little bit of risk, you must earn more than the 17%. And that's where the fixed deposits might come in.
Okay.
But the fixed deposit varies from institution to an institution. You walk to one institution, the fixed deposit they might call for you, you will not like it. They might call 9%. You walk to another institution, they might call, let's say, 17%. You walk to another institution, they will say, okay, we'll pay you Treasury Plus. And I think that's what most of the finance houses are doing. But that's also the other element that comes in is the risk. If somebody is offering you Treasury Plus, I will just want to make a statement that the reasonableness of how far you go determines the rate. Currently, my level of reasonability is that if somebody pays you Treasury Plus 10, then the person has done the best for you. That is the reasonable rates that you can expect. But it all depends on...
Which is what, 18 plus 10?
17 plus 10.
Okay.
But it all depends on the amount of money, because you can't go there with 100 Ghana cedis and expect to get, 17%, 27%. But if you're coming with 100,000, of course, 100,000 is a big sum of money. So then it means the person might be willing to pay you that amount. So coming back to summarize what I've said, the amount, the risk that you are willing to take, and the inflation rate, and the prevailing risk-free rates should guide everybody in what you're looking for from the investment world. Okay,
there's another thing that I think about, which is whether it's a traditional bank or not. I kind of like to stick with the traditional banks because I'm thinking it's safer.
It's safer. I always tell people that the safety will be there, but if you just don't want to take any risk at all, then you are safer even getting the risk-free. But if you want to invest, there's an element of risk.
Okay.
You should be willing to take some risk. And the older you get, the advice is that you should, draw back or take, a back stand with your risk. But if you are under 30, I think that you can take some risk. Because, the other side of it is that if the institution is well run, the institution is regulated by the central bank, you are safer.
Okay.
In that case. And I think government is moving towards a situation where all depositors' funds will be insured at some point in time. So the safety is key, but if you really want to invest, then you must take some risk.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm still trying to straighten out how much we've been able to. It's a lot, actually.
It's a lot of money.
I didn't think we just put in 10 Ghana cedis every day.
That's
here am I struggling to even count exactly how much it is. I know that some people keep, for instance, coins from the beginning of the year till the end. What can you do with coins if you don't have paper?
Coins, I would say that it's a good start, but coins should be the preserve of
the kids.
The kids. Because, they will value the coins and put it in there. But for adults, I think go for the notes. And 10 Ghana cedis, I think, was a good starting point. But it all depends on where the person finds himself. Even if you're doing 1 Ghana cedis, it's a starting point. And at some point in time, as your income levels permits or increases, and I think last week I was advising that when you take your paycheck, the minimum I expect anybody at all to do is to take 7% of that and say you are going to save it or you're going to invest that money at some point in time.
So if you earn, like, say, 1,000.
1,000. 7% of that is going to be 70.
Okay.
So just put 70 Ghana cedis every month somewhere.
Where do you put that? Is it directly in an investment account?
There are a lot of opportunities out there. Like I said, you can start with a savings account, and after the money is grown up to a certain level, you move it to investment. But some finance houses have got products also that you can easily, every month, be taking money to them, which will be acting as a savings account, but as an investment account. Now, the line between investment and savings have been blurred because it's like there's been a hybrid of products where people are saying that, okay, it's a savings account, but the rate I'm paying on it, when you look at the rate that is being paid on it, it's more like an investment account. And the frequency with which people are putting money in it's making it look more like it's a savings account. But with all these products, there are conditions and terms. So once the conditions and terms are understood, the individual can be putting money aside. And the frequency with which you put money counts towards the growth of your money. It's not like I have dumped 10 Ghana cedis there, so for the next 1 year, I've forgotten about it. No.
But you're adding on to
You're adding on to it every now and then when the opportunity comes. And those who are fortunate that they get some bonuses or they get some what I call profit sharing at some point in time in their life with their employers, those funds should, a portion of it should be channeled towards investment.
Okay.
So that you always have money at any point in time.
Okay. So can we begin to put something on the board? Roland is not here right now, but he said that he's saving towards a holiday with his family. I can tell you all about his family. He has a beautiful family, 2 kids, a beautiful wife, and himself.
Excellent.
So let's assume that the hotel where he's going is, say, 1,000.
How many nights is he staying there? Or the total cost is 1,000?
5, so a week.
A week.
This is
and it's costing him 1,000 Ghana cedis
for a day.
All right. Okay.
But that's 2 rooms, two rooms connected.
So let's start 1,000, and it's going to be for 5 days.
Yes, sir.
So he expects to get 5,000.
Okay.
And
he hasn't made 5,000 yet.
We have to know when will he need this 5,000. Assuming that he will need this 5,000, we are
in December.
And he will need it in December, so we are about 9 months away. So it's going to be 5,000 divided by 9, assuming that I'm just using the monthly. We're looking at, let me borrow my calculator so that I know I'm exact. We are talking about 555.55, or let's say 0.5, 56. So let's round it up and say 556 is how much every month he's supposed to
556.
556 towards this.
Okay.
That is for the amount of money that he's looking out for. Now, it means that every month he needs to put a portion away for it to grow into the 5,000 at the end of it. Then the next thing we are talking about is at what interest rate. And the rates, I want to say that the rates keeps changing every week in most institutions. So let's, for argument's sake, fix the rate and say that we are using 18% for the risk-free.
Okay.
The 18% is the risk-free. So this 18% in most cases is per annum. It means 18% for the year. So if we are looking at, he's putting money aside every month. Then for every month, for the next 9 months, we need to find if you're going to get 18% per annum, it means that you're going to get a lower amount for the year. 18 divided by 12, if we want to get a monthly rate, I think it's about 1.5%, if I am right.
So it means that if he goes with the same rates with the monthly amounts that he's putting down, he will not get the 5,000.
Yeah. So it means he needs to step up how much money he needs.
Okay.
So you have given us the objective, what he wants to get, which is the 5,000. We have given you the rates, and he's told us the tenor involved. And now we've told you that it means that on average, every month he's earning 1.5, given if the rate is 18%. So if you're earning 1.5, then we now need to plug it into the math to say that 1.5 times what amount on a monthly basis compounded will give me my 5,000 that I am looking up for. And it's a little bit of mathematical equation which I know viewers will not like it, but speak to.
I don't as well. That's why we have you here.
When it comes to the math, not so many people will want to like the math. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you speak to an investment person, and with this rate, assuming that I'm just picking this 5 to tell you, on a monthly basis, if we pick the first 556 times 1.5%, it means that we are looking at 8.34 Ghana cedis on this amount of money on a monthly basis. Assuming that we don't take the 8.34 out and we add it up to this amount, it means that for month 2, if it's a compounded thing, we are going to be adding this to 8 plus this is giving us 564. Let me round them up. 564 times another 1.5 per annum. So month 1 we get this, month 2 we get that, month 3 we get that amount. So it's like it's been broken up for people to be able to know on a monthly basis. Even though we are talking about 18%, it means that if you leave the money for 1 month, for 1 year, that is when you start to get the whole 18%.
Oh, okay.
But if you leave the money just for the 9 months, then it's going to be a build-up of the 1.5 until we get to the month 9.
Okay.
So people should know this before they step out to do the investment. Other than that, you go out there and say, but you promised me 18%. So where's the 18% at the end of month 1? No. It's per annum.
Okay.
I know some houses are out there throwing rates that, on a monthly basis, I'm going to be giving you this. But either risk-free translates, the 3 months risk-free translates into 1.5 per month. Then if somebody's promising you 10% per month, then it means that you are taking excessive risk with the money. And there's a likelihood that you can lose the entire money that you started with.
Yeah.
So people should be reasonable, and investments are built up slowly and gradually. You don't expect to make or the huge return or the gain just in a short time. If you do that, you are taking too much risk with your hard-earned money. Okay.
So this is it. 980 Ghana.
Good. That's what I was anticipating. So with 980 Ghana cedis now for 3 months.
Yeah.
Assuming that we decide to put this whole money in a 3 months treasury bill. I'm just going to work it out for you. That's the minimum.
Okay. And this will be the last thing that we'll do, but we'll be doing this every now and then here on the show because we want to grow our money. I can't believe we've saved at 980 Ghana cedis. Remember, we've been doing, this has been just the working days. And even that, we haven't been entirely consistent because we're using our lunch, dividing the money into 2, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for all of us. So there are times that we haven't put the 10 Ghana cedis inside, but here we are with 980, and we're just ending March. Okay. So now, Mr. Kwashi is going to tell us, he says 3 months.
3 months into treasury bill.
Okay, so we're locking it down for 3 months.
Yes, because we don't know your risk level, how much risk you are willing to assume for us to tell you that, take the money to this organization, because you need to be assessed how much risk are you willing to take with the money.
Yeah.
But assuming that you don't even want any risk at all, so that's why we are using the risk-free.
Okay.
So it simply means that the 980 will be at 18 divided by 400, just times 1 over 100. So it's percentage. So now let's come up with the amount of money that in 3 months' time you expect to see.
Well, if you just joined us, you're watching the AM show. This is our little money moments, and we've blown it up to this point because we just opened our box this morning to find out the 10 Ghana cedis contribution we've been making every day here on the show has resulted into 980 Ghana cedis. And our banker and investment analyst, Mr. Frank Kwache, is doing us a lot of good. He's telling us what we can.
So this translates into 44.1 after 3 months.
44.1 is how much is that?
Ghana cedis, 44 cedis.
Oh, so the 44 plus our 980.
Plus your 980.
Oh, amazing.
So you will not lose your 980 because we are not taking any risk at all.
Okay.
So in a year, assuming that we roll over this amount of money, in a year on the average, we'll then be looking at, this is after 3 months, so per quarter. In a year, it's then going to be 0.1 times
0.18 times 9.
We're looking at 176.4, assuming that we leave this money for 1 year.
Wow, not bad.
So that is what you stand to gain.
Okay.
If you leave the money for 1 year.
Okay.
But if you just, after 3 months, you want your money back, it's 44, Ghana cedis.
Not bad for somebody like me who doesn't take a lot of risk. Yeah.
You should be able to take risks. You're young. It's people, I always tell people that people are at age 50, 55 are the people that I recommend that scale back.
Okay. Well, you know, we have to end our conversation here, but this has been really amazing. Thank you. So we do the 3 months, right? Exactly. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time here this morning.
Thank you too for inviting me.
Yeah. Right. But we'll be doing this regularly. So if you commit, then, you know, we can call on you. I'll be at your service. Yeah. Thank you. We're grateful. So join us. We're beginning on a fresh note on Monday. And ta-da! This is our box for Monday. We've got a bigger box, which means we're committing 20 Ghana cedis each every day. We're upping the game right here on the show. So this is it. Make sure you get your box. If you didn't start with us in January, we're giving you another opportunity. We're beginning the special savings, the little money moments in the month of April on Monday, God willing. But we've got Roverman. We're talking blackmail just before we wrap up the show. So, you know, stay with us. Oh, Mr. Kwache, thank you so much.